Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our council meeting, May the 12th. And thank you, Henry, for that reading. And we'll begin tonight by moving that it be it resolved the agenda for the regular council meeting of May the 12th, 2020 be adopted. Mover?
Henry Siemens.
Seconder?
Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin. And any changes to the minutes, or to the agenda, sorry?
Nothing for me.
Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 28th, 2020 be adopted. Mover?
Don.
And the seconder?
Michael.
And any corrections?
We did make a small correction to one point on the comments as per Karina's note. So that's already been updated and reflected in the minutes.
Okay. Any other corrections, errors? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. I was going to say we have nothing for correspondence, but I should maybe just highlight the fact we just got an email from Canadian Border Services indicating that the Winkler Airport would be temporarily not allowed to do any clearing of cargo. And it's the same for all the airports, smaller airports in Manitoba, except for 2 in Winnipeg and 1 at the Peace Gardens at Boise Lane. So the rest of them all have a temporary suspension. That's all I will add for that one. Going on to finance, be it resolved that the accounts payable in the amount of $790,717.71 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover?
Henry Siemens.
Thank you, Henry. And a seconder?
Karina.
Thank you, Karina. And the check registers are attached. Any questions regarding the check registers?
Can you tell me about the Prairie Rubber paving? What was that one for?
That is for softer surface for one of our playgrounds. And it was part of a grant that we received. David, I think that was last year.
Accessibility grant.
Accessibility grant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Whereas tenders for asphalt patching under tender contract number M20-01 were received as follows. Messington Construction, 182,562, Triple L, 189,180, Eddie Gravel Supply, 243,955, and Maple Leaf, 306,250. Therefore, be it resolved that the tender be awarded to Messington Construction for the low bid of $182,562, including PST, excluding GST. Do we have a mover?
Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Seconder?
Marvin.
Thank you, Marvin. Any questions regarding the tender? It's nice to see a lot of bids. It's surprising that the spread there is between the low and the high again, but I guess some want it and some don't need it. Okay, if there's no more questions, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the Winkler Fire Department April 20th, 2020 month-end report be received for information. Mover?
Michael.
Thanks, Michael. And a seconder?
Don.
Thank you, Don. Any comments?
Looks like with the low number of calls, Richard's budget will be in good shape.
Well, I think we have a solution here. We keep everybody off the road and everybody home. No fires, no accidents.
Well, we still have fires in Jagger House.
The province of Manitoba also gave us an indication of there's a little dollar adjustment for fire calls and
For MPI.
MPI calls. Yeah.
I noticed that they had quite a few meetings that got canceled there. Was there no opportunity for Zooming? Zooming, is that a word?
It is now.
It is now.
I'm assuming it is.
Oh, that was good.
That's That's on video, Mark.
That is going on the permanent record.
Okay, it's all good.
Are you aware of that though? Like, which are the meetings that you're referring to?
I just saw the office meetings officer meetings canceled, PTMAD and MAFC meetings canceled.
Oh, those were larger meetings with,
Like the area fire
With
chiefs.
other
yeah,
partners.
Okay.
yeah.
And officer meetings, like I think we were working on some replacement of officers, captains and deputies and so on. We're just putting that on hold. It's not like the department can't run. It's for some of these interviews, it's better to do them in person.
Mhm. How often does that committee meet?
Quarterly.
Quarterly, okay.
Okay, thanks for the discussion. All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that Transportation Utilities Committee minutes of April 2020 be adopted. Mover?
Well, that's the
Utilities?
utilities, that's just the report. But yeah, I'll move.
Okay,
Marvin?
okay, Andrew and Marvin?
Yeah, that should just
So
be
there's no minutes there.
reworded. It's actually the water and sewer report be
Right,
accepted
Water
for
and sewer
information.
report, yeah.
So be it resolved that Transportation Utilities,
Or the water and sewer report be accepted.
water and
Yeah.
sewer report be accepted. Yeah,
Yep, Andrew.
Mhm.
okay. Andrew and Don, all right. All in favor? And that is carried.
Also, I don't know, maybe you noticed there was some notes there that Scott had shared about
Mhm.
water consumption being down, and we suspect that is due to some of the business restrictions and COVID-19. So as we always do, we'll keep monitoring that, but it appears that the consumption is down because of that.
Is that significant though, like a 300 cubic meters a day?
That sounds like a big number, doesn't it?
Is it? I, like
About 10%.
10%? Okay,
Okay, that's a real number.
that's a real number, yeah.
Those are the outsiders coming into town, into businesses, using the bathrooms. Workplaces,
Restaurants aren't
restaurants.
doing quite as much.
restaurants. That'd make a big difference.
Yep.
All right, 7.2, whereas the city of Winkler and the government of Manitoba have agreed to enter into a memorandum of understanding for the reconstruction of the portion of PTH 32 from Victoria Street to PTH 14. And whereas the MOU will establish the project scope and each party's commitments to the project, including financial contributions, roles, and responsibilities. Therefore, be it resolved that council of the city of Winkler authorizes the mayor and city manager to sign the MOU and the subsequent contracts. Mover,
Andrew.
seconder,
Marvin?
any questions regarding that?
No, it's nice to have this project ready and to move forward. And obviously with financial contribution roles and responsibilities to be fully defined yet, there's probably some I's dotted and T's crossed that need to happen.
Indeed.
But let's get this thing going.
Well, should be short order because I assume we will be able to take care of it this week. Yet, I think so. We get some
Contracts,
details. Yeah.
Good.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Disappointed that I couldn't move that one.
That's been here a long time.
It's been here a long time.
You could have given
Marvin,
up
when
the
have
chair
you
for
not had that part of your city council issue?
Never. It
We're not-
was there in 2006. when I
Well,
came.
in 98, we were just working, at 99, we did Main Street, and we were told by MI, or whatever it was called at that time, that we shouldn't expect the other one within 10 years, like, because you had two big projects, so 2009, no, 98,
98.
yeah.
So we were
22 years
almost
ago.
ready in 06.
Yeah, so
About
So-
10 years late. but it's
only
here.
10 years, not 20.
Okay.
All right. All right, next one is a positive thing. People are still wanting to invest. Land sale to 100-37061 Manitoba Limited. Be it resolved that we approve the sale of the westerly 1.51 acres of Lot 8, Block 6, Plan 59072, MLTO, also known as westerly 1.51 acres of 840 Roblin Boulevard East, to 100-37061 Manitoba Limited for the purchase price of $178,800 excluding taxes. And I should add maybe and subdivision, right?
They are looking after the
They're looking,
subdivision
right,
costs.
right.
Yes, agreed.
So
We could add that.
excluding taxes and subdivision
Costs.
costs.
Or plus.
Do you have a mover?
Henry Siemens.
Henry, yes, and the seconder.
Gone.
Don, thank you. Any further comments or discussion regarding that portion of land?
For me.
Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the Explore Morton Winkler meeting minutes of May the 6th, 2020 be received for information. Mover?
Karina Bickert.
Thank you. Karina, seconder.
Andrew.
Andrew, thank you. Any comments regarding what progress is being made in Explore Morton Winkler?
They're shifting right now to accommodate COVID with the AGM. We were scheduled to have the AGM in April, but I guess we're gonna have to do it virtually, so everything's being shifted that way right now. But we had a conference call as well with Travel Manitoba with Colin Ferguson and I think that we have a great opportunity. I know that sounds very crazy right now, but it is a good opportunity for us to be promoting ourselves and our region to Manitobans, because people are getting tired and you can safely do a lot of things in our communities.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we're looking at a lot of different options for
Okay.
marketing towards that.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
But there's, like, I've just heard, just from people talking that, because we can't go cross-border to either provinces or down to the US, a lot of people are gonna do their vacationing within Manitoba, so.
I
That's gonna
had
be
a
huge.
conference call today or a webinar today on that, and they said 64% of travelers in Canada were Canadians. So imagine, like, most of our travelers and our tourism is domestic. So we should really target that. We have an opportunity.
Great. Okay, all in favor? And that is carried. We had some inquiries in regards to youth council member, and therefore the resolution is as follows. Whereas the Section 81 of Municipal Act allows the appointment of a youth member to sit with council to participate in its deliberations for a term and on conditions that council may decide. And whereas Council of the City of Winkler is interested in both hearing the viewpoints of our local youth and the education of youth in regards to municipal affairs. Therefore, be it resolved that the youth member of council policy be adopted as presented. Mover?
Henry
Karina.
Siemens.
Karina and Henry. And just any comments in regards to the policy?
Just one thing to note,
Highlighted
you
one
had,
thing.
yeah, you highlighted something, and we do have something in the other terms of reference now here that talk about not participating in deliberations that are closed to the public for privacy
Right.
reasons.
So they're
That
gonna come to
wasn't-
every single committee meeting.
I think that they are eligible to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
But-
That would be a lot of meetings for them to attend.
Yeah. Yeah, I would doubt whether they would attend all of them, but yeah, I just didn't want them to expect to come to an in-camera session
Right.
because that,
It does say that in there though, doesn't it?
well, we.
It
added
does.
It
And
wasn't in there before.
What was the other thing I was going to note? Oh, yes, that, I think I said that in the email, but when Danica contacted the school division, I think they're very excited about the prospect of.
So are we gonna go Garden Valley 1 year, NPC the next year, or what?
I think as long as there would be interest from both, then to me, that would make some sense. I don't know that we have to have it in the policy unless you guys want to.
No, we don't even have to. Both.
But, yeah, that to
Yeah,
me,
like the
would-
unwritten rules. on that.
In which case, I'm glad that we have the grade 11 and 12, because otherwise we would exclude one of them, right?
Right.
And so I know there's a lot of interest on this, and I'm very excited about bringing it in.
yeah, I think it's
It's gonna be
a
good.
So are
Great
we-
idea.
Are we going to have two One
No.
from each then, or
No,
just
it's
one?
just one.
Okay,
I think that's a really good idea. We worked on this initially for a while, 20 years ago. Sometimes good things take time, so.
Well,
Thanks
Danica
for-
did a lot of the legwork on it, so.
Way to go.
appreciate it.
Thanks for picking it up and working on it, yeah.
Okay, any more comments in regards to this? Hearing none, all in favor? And that is carried.
Martin, maybe then we have the website tour we're going to do, unless you want to take any questions from the media if there are, maybe? Nothing?
Nope, nothing
Okay.
posted, well then we'll assume there is nothing.
Okay.
Okay, well then Wendy Clausen is going to give us a website tour. So Wendy, floor is yours.
I'll let you come. Yeah, I'll just set this up for you here,
It's a beautiful place.
isn't it? I'm going to duplicate this here so that you can. Oops. It's all yours.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple of the things Jody and I figured out, kind of the areas that we wanted to highlight that we thought would be of importance to you. And then at the end, you can just ask if you have questions that you want to see, specific things that I haven't covered. One thing that you might all know, but just in case you don't, Winkler.ca works. You don't have to type in cityofwinkler.ca.
Well,
So we have those two domain names.
Great.
So Winkler.ca if you ever want the fast version. I used to not know that, so that's why. So I'll start here. The red strip at the top is the alerts, and it's only on if we have something that we want to alert people of. So if there was, anything that we want to, that we consider as an alert, but that's not necessarily an emergency that we would want to contact people like via phone or whatever with Connect would go here. Right now it takes people to the COVID page where we have kind of all the information that we've been giving them so far, dated down to the bottom will be the earliest, most relevant will be at the top. And then, so that's the alerts. The garbage color is always at the top with the weather. The large header image here that says Connect by AllNet, that always changes depending on what I want to put there. And then whatever I have associated with the header image will always be in this gray text box. So right now we're promoting Connect because it's a great time to get people to sign up for Connect, because right now is when they want information. And we have a low, we have like over 8,000 people signed up for like via phone because it goes through our system or whatever, but with emails and cell phone numbers so that we can alert people with text messages or emails. We don't have very many. So that's what we're trying to collect right now. You would click on read more and it will take you to the Connect page. So that will always, the header always changes. And then next, if you would scroll down, you would see stay up to date, news and announcements. So there would be notices. You'll only see the two most relevant ones, but if you click on see all notices, you'll see all of the notices that are up right now. And if you click on those, you'll also it'll open a box that has more information. And then right here is events, what's coming up in Winkler. And if you click on view all events, you'll see the calendar that has all of the colors. You can filter them if you only want to see rec events. You can just filter or community events or city news. So there's that.
And just a quick note on that is that those are also synced with what's on the Yes Winkler app.
Correct. Yep. Anything that's on the app is synced with the website. So we do not.
Events and.
Yes, we do not have the ability to like put separate information on our app that's not on our website. It's all the events and all of that is linked. So whatever I add here is automatically on the app. Yeah, and then if you go past this, you'll just see download our app, news and events, garbage and recycling, alert notifications, and local maps is what you'll find on our app. It shows where people can sign up there, and then at the bottom is Connect. sign up for Connect. So those are two separate things. People often get confused. They think if they have the app, they've signed up for Connect. That is not the case. The app is the app, and you still have to sign up for Connect. So.
Just a question on local maps. I know we've had some discussion because of all the walking paths and trails or whatever that we have around town. Is that where we're going to be posting distances for walking trails, connections, those kind of things?
Yes, I will get to that, actually. I have it in here. But yes. And then the only other thing on the homepage really is the quick links. So those are things that you want to find easily that you wouldn't necessarily know how to find very easily otherwise. So service requests. The nice thing is if people have a question and they want, instead of calling City Hall, they could use service requests because we can then go back and look at the files, that the documents, and they can select what area they want to contact. So all of our departments are in there. And they just have to fill out the form, and then it will send it to the appropriate person. So if it was something regarding the front desk, then Bettina would get the email. And
So
then,
like when someone texts us to say, are they allowed to plant a tree in their yard, then we can just tell them to go in there?
say go to the website, go to quick links, put in a service request.
Great.
Yeah, and we're really trying to push that
The
because
hydrolight is out, they can do that too.
that's also in the quick links.
Call me.
And streetlights call me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry, guys. I got it.
Pardon me?
You have to put the number in on the pole. There's a number on each hydro pole.
That would be different than a service request. That would be a street light outage. Oh, is that what you just said? Or yeah.
Go right to Mount Hydro. Look
Yeah.
at that. Slick.
So that would be there. Were you gonna say something?
I got a list. I'm waiting till you're
Okay.
done.
Okay. And then utility bill estimator, you can also find that under our water and sewer page, but it's easier to just find it here if you need streetlight outage, and then the waste and recycling, because that's a hot topic. So those are quick links. They're always easy to find. And then we also have the information about online bill paying and how to make an online bill payment, because the girls get a lot of calls about that.
And I hear most of the calls, and there's such a confusion because how many zeros do you put in front?
Yes.
Where does the dot?
And the
go? Where
decimals,
Dot
yes.
doesn't go there or whatever.
So
I
we
hear
have
that
a
over
document
and over
now
again.
that explains that,
Good.
but they still phone, unfortunately. But we're working on it. So then I'll move on to the menu. The first tab is City Hall. It's fairly straightforward. If you click on applications, bylaws, policies, reports, it's all documents. Danica's been working on a project. Jody wanted all of the bylaws to be searchable so that you don't have to find them.
Yes.
So she has completed that project. So if you for example, the search engine is a great tool. And if you would go here and click in or type in sump pump bylaw, you would find right there your sump pits and sump pumps bylaw. So
Very
You can do your searching for specific.
You're killing it, Danica.
Yeah. So-
you guys are all
Yeah.
killing
So
it.
right here, and the thing was, some of them were old scanned bylaws, and the scanned bylaws you can't search, right? Because it doesn't detect the words. And so now she's gone and updated them all to text, and
Wow.
so you can find them by searching. So that's lovely. Other things were sorry, I'll go back here. It's pretty straightforward. Applications, city maps. City maps is in a few different areas, but there's 3 maps that we have now updated. It's the community map, the tourism map, and the parks and walk paths map. So the community map is, if someone's new to Winkler and they say we've kind of tried to include everything. So the doctor and the churches and the schools and all of that. So it's kind of like a catch-all community map for if you're new, where to find everything. Tourism map, that one has restaurants, attractions, hotels, like the arts and culture, VB's entertainment, and that there might be things on here that we've missed, but we've been going through it as much as we can. And so anything that a person coming in would want to find for food, entertainment, and where to stay, that is the tourism map. And then the last one is the parks and trails. So Brian has been working on these maps, and we've added Discovery Nature Sanctuaries. You can see in that far corner, and they're all different colors, and it'll tell you exactly how long each path is. So if you want to walk the Parkland Trail, it's 3.3 kilometers. And then we have all of the parks and green spaces on the bottom too in the map. So those.
So if you're not careful, I'd almost look forward to looking at the website.
Well, there you go. That's the goal. Yes. Yeah. Service requests we already talked about. Then in living, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have the COVID page. Community organizations is exactly that. It's a list of organizations. Events is the calendar. We have connect, recycling, waste, water, sewer. Under business, it's all also easy to find. Chamber, infrastructure, starting a business. Under economic development is where we have the town folio stats. So if you ever need to find those, you would go to economic development and click on statistics, and that's where you'll find all of that.
So is this also the route that we're going to use to connect to do this, or building permit applications, once we get them online?
No, that would be Town Suite.
Oh,
And
okay.
so that would be a separate system that would provide a few of the other services that we can't do via the system.
So that's business, and then if you go to visiting, culture and heritage, it lists the places that we have in town that would be culture and heritage, basically. And you can click on them if they have websites to take them to their website. Eat, Stay, and Play, we have linked with Explore More than Winkler because it's a very big list to keep updated, and so we thought, why reinvent the wheel? Let's rather send them to the Explore More than Winkler page, so if ever anybody needs that link is not working. I need to go fix that. If everybody needs to know where to eat, stay, and play, it'll take them directly to Explore More than Winkler's list.
Can you scroll down for a second?
Yes.
Can you change it up so it says eat, stay, play? I
Yes.
think that's the way that we do it, right?
Yes,
Just
I
a side
can.
note. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're good. Next, I would say visiting. Yeah, festival and events, same thing. It has Harvest Festival, Farmers Market, concerts in the park, which everything there is pretty much canceled, but that would normally be where we would have that happening. And then the tourist map is exactly here you can like select it's like an interactive map. And then here you have a printable tourist map. So it's the same map that we had before, but they can also use this map to search for specific things, accommodations, attractions, civic amenities, coffee shops, construction, so on and so forth.
Do you have a link to Google Maps or something like that? I noticed a couple of websites that have been on lately now. They have that, so you look at this thing and then you can, if you want to go there from here, you click to Google Maps and it has that spot on it and it'll tell me how to get there from here.
I believe that's what this is, right?
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So then community services has health and wellness. That's just some information for mental health and wellness. Concert hall links to the concert hall page, which is actually in construction right now. So that is getting a makeover. And it's going to be very easy to buy tickets and to find things. So that's exciting.
So that page will be a page within our page, or it'll be a separate?
I have not determined that yet.
Okay.
Right now it is separate, and that is where I was working on it, though we are talking about potentially making it, like we have the ability with AllNet to make microsites.
Okay.
So essentially AllNet then would host it and do all those things. I'm working on finding out if AllNet has all of the tools we need for that,
Gotcha.
right? So, yeah.
At first blush, my thought might be that it would make sense, but you're diving into this way deeper, so.
Yeah, it does make sense. And if they have, if they can do all the things we need it to do, then we probably will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if they don't have, you should talk to Vern. He needs to.
Then adjust
he needs to add
it.
it.
Yeah.
He needs to add it. He's been good over the years at
Yeah.
expanding.
Yeah, they're really good. Reservations and schedules, I will highlight quickly. So this takes you to Max Galaxy, But there are some things where you can see the availabilities, and there's some things that you can book online. You can't book everything online because they need more information, whatever. So register online here for aquatic and rec programs, or you can book a picnic shelter. So those are the things you can book online without having to contact anyone. You can book a campsite and then see the schedule here for Ball Diamonds, Royal Hall, Winkler Arena, blah, blah, blah. So that you can at least see the schedule. So before you contact them to rent, you know what's available. So.
And Max Galaxy, maybe I'll know, but is the system that the rec uses to do all of the bookings and scheduling.
Yeah.
Most communities use that.
Yes, it's very popular.
And then green spaces and campground is exactly that. The campground page takes you to the link to book, and there's information they can find on refunds, services, book a campsite. Horticultural just has a little page about information. And then we have a page for the nature sanctuary, has a link to their website and has some info there. Yeah, and then lastly, we have the MEC page. Oh, there's aquatic as well, which also just has information for, which has been very highly visited. I just realized when I looked at the analytics before because of the swimming registration. This is the MEC page. It has a little photo, it has the videos, and we've recently worked on the layouts, so we've color-coded them. People can see the spaces with the square feet. And then we've also added the click here for more photos. So there's the rendered photos of the soccer turf and all of the individual spaces that we have photos of. And then you can also see the amenities. So we figured out how long the walking track was, how many square feet the bleacher, or how many seats the bleachers have, etc. So that if people are starting to get curious about using the spaces, they have the details.
Can I interrupt for 1 second, Wendy?
Yes.
Just seeing the MEC piece here, do we have a clearly defined agreement with Meridian in terms of how we're going to brand it? Because ultimately, MEC is going to catch on very, very quickly.
Yep.
And we're going to lose Meridian entirely. So if we have a requirement on how we're going to brand it, we should make sure that we know what that is to give them the clear
There was
direction.
There was no agreement on that.
Nothing clear right now.
So
Yeah.
our belief is they would be okay with MEC.
I think we need to work on that.
Yeah, we have Meridian in the logo, like it says the Meridian Exhibition Center underneath, but MEC is obviously the easier to read
Bingo.
part.
And it flows so nicely.
Yes, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. We're not going to want to say that many words every
No, we
time we
won't.
talk about it, right?
No, we won't.
But that is all I have planned to show you, and then I have stats if you want this last minute because I hadn't done it in a little while, and so this is the last month. 2,890 views on the homepage, and then the next highest after that is 1,079 for waste and recycling, which wasn't really surprising. 557 for COVID, 438 for aquatic, city services 429. Search engine was used 323, which is actually quite good.
Yeah.
That I'm glad people are using that, and then everything went down from there. But those were the top ones. So
I'm certain that the search engine is going to grow like crazy when people start to figure out that we can actually search and get results. I know
Yeah.
I've been there previously trying to search those scanned images that just didn't work.
yeah, and especially with a municipal website, there's so much on there.
Right.
So to find stuff is harder than to just type it in.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I like the click and expand.
I think for
Love
the
it.
amount of content, it's pretty well organized, and if you browse any other municipal sites, you'll see they're set up in different ways. Some are a little similar, but it's not easy to make it, user-friendly when there's that much content, but I think this has gone a long way to make it easier to navigate.
Yeah. And I try to think about like mobile too. Like I didn't realize this was as big of a thing till recently, but people are picky about if there's too much on there, it uses too much of their data, right? So here's a smaller image file, but then if you click on it, that's where you get the downloadable large like PDF file. So if you want to open it, you can, and you can print it, but you don't have to.
I think a lot of municipal websites where lose interest. If you look at the dates on there, and all the dates are like a year ago. It's like,
Or there's
it's not up
events,
to date.
there's events on there that have already happened.
That's already happened, and what's one look at what happened a year ago.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing I like about their events is that it's calendar, right?
Right.
So it stays relevant.
And I would also add, I think our stats on our social media over the last couple of months have gone way up as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you linked? Do you have a Facebook link on there? Or a,
Yes.
or an Instagram link?
Yes. I would think I need to get AllNet to add Instagram, I believe,
On the
but
bottom.
Facebook and Twitter are on there, and TripAdvisor.
Okay. May I ask a few questions?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any opportunity for change or giving opportunity for learning or doing it in different languages?
That would be a question we'd have to ask AllNet. Like the website, you mean?
We are a massive immigration hub, and we just maybe want to take that into consideration, seeing what our top 5 languages are that are spoken with our newcomers, and maybe we can offer some of the more important details more. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the whole thing, but maybe they have a quick Google Translate button that you can just click on. Or something.
Yeah, I can ask them.
Also, your events calendar, is it synced to Pembina Valley Online, or is it standalone?
It's our own. So I had many meetings with them, and we were considering linking it, but we talked about it a few times.
Yeah.
And in the end, we decided that we didn't want to.
Okay.
Because there's so much on Pembina Valley Online that we didn't really
Right.
want on ours. And there's stuff that we have that they don't want on ours. They don't want our waste and recycling. They don't want our council, the council meetings they would. But there was we just decided in the end that it was better if we kept our own.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the benefit to them would definitely be greater than the benefit.
they're the ones that
ultimately.
asked because they love
Exactly.
to have their events calendar on other people's
Bingo.
pages.
Right.
But then when we looked at all of it and we looked at every angle, it was not, yeah.
I know that we are tracking our response time on service calls for utilities and water. Are we doing that as well for the service calls that are online? Can we be?
I don't think we have yet, and I don't know how many we've got this way. I'd have to check, but I think we have the ability to do it there.
I'm just thinking if we're going to be promoting the fact that more and more people can go online, then maybe we want to just make sure that we stay on top of that piece as well for tracking. And my last question, block party applications,
Yeah,
is it on there?
not right now.
Could it be?
The reason is because it's actually an application with the police department,
Correct.
but there's nothing on our website then about block parties.
Yeah.
And so somehow it would be nice to have that connection, please.
We've been talking about the block parties. No, we're still live. I would like to promote the block parties, but we're also waiting to see what the restrictions do. Because
Yeah.
if the restrictions allow proper block parties, then I'd like to really promote them and do a
Oh, yeah.
few fun things
Yeah.
because of the lost summer events. But it's kind of a waiting thing.
Question that I would have, if, I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying, I think the next step would be going to 50.
Right.
If it goes to 50,
Then we can.
that would almost be, that'd be the maximum block party size anyway.
That's what we talked about too.
Okay.
If we hit 50, that might be a good way to get people together.
Yeah.
So I have it all kind of planned out in my head and a little on paper, but now it was kind of it doesn't pay to do a lot of work until we know. And that being said, should we be putting the application online right now because we're 10? We don't want people to have block parties, do we?
I don't think that that's our issue, right? I don't think that I don't think people are going to have block parties until June, or until July, August.
Well, I looked on a lot of different websites when I was trying to make my block party plan, and all the other municipal websites, if they have block party information, they say the program is canceled right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I wonder.
I think that would make some sense.
Because
To
then
me as well.
essentially people might be confused and say, well, can we
Correct.
have a block party? We have more than 10 neighbors. Well,
It becomes tacit approval, for lack of a better word.
but I would say as
But
soon
I
as we
would-
get to phase 2, we could put them on.
Yeah, so you're ready. We're ready to put it on
Yeah.
once we think it's possible.
You work at it and make sure the design is right, and then you
Yeah.
can, you can add some of those neat things that you want to
Fun
add to
extras.
promote it, to whatever.
And then if we can somehow collaborate with the police
Yep.
application, right? Like, because there was a lot of miscommunication on that, or mix-ups on that,
Like last year, you mean?
and the years prior. It's just.
But to put the application here, link it to where it needs to go.
Right.
They're
But
going
not-
to, most people are naturally going to assume that if I need to get an application for a block party, I would get it from the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
At that point in time, we'll clarify and say it's actually a police piece.
Yeah.
But most people would assume it's the city rather than the police.
Yeah.
Right.
And what lots of the places that I've looked where I'm like with the ideas, they have kind of like a block party toolkit you put together for them. So that's where then you could put the information in. Here's your application. This is what you do with it. You bring it to the police station. Blah blah blah.
But I would suggest that the approval process may need to go to the police station, but I agree with Trina, if it's on the website, it should be on the city website. Should be able to fill the thing out.
And then they'd have to bring
would
it
be
there.
No, they shouldn't need
They
to
can
bring it
bring it here?
anywhere. They should bring it here or just fill it out online. The police department may well be one of the approval processes. That's an internal thing. The police shouldn't need to bother with every block party application. We should be responsible to inform them.
Well, maybe, I guess, but it has always been a police thing.
It has.
I know, but it shouldn't be.
Well, they
You're-
need to know about the
No,
road
you're
closures.
never gonna get, what we're trying to do is we're trying to increase the volume of block parties.
Right.
And in order for us to do that, it's like we've always said, it needs to come from a positive perspective.
Mhm.
To go to a police department and ask for permission for a block party is much more prohibitive than to going on a website, filling in a block party application. And if we are the ones that are putting it together to promote it, the police simply needs to be aware of it. And so then they need to be informed, or if they have any objections, then they should tell us that rather than going directly to the individual.
It is because of the street closures
It's
though.
because of the street closures.
I
and then-
know,
But I
that's
guess
part of the
they could still
process.
drop it off, I guess, at admin, but then admin would just bring it over to the police station.
My question is, why do you need to have a piece of paper?
Because we have to know if they're having a block party, because if they want to close the street, we need to know that.
But
And-
let's say if we do construction work, we don't form the police to do, you shut down streets for construction.
We tell them.
I don't, whenever I have a festival though, I have to get a
Yeah.
form
Yeah.
filled out and signed by the
Yeah,
police to
that
say. That would be a discussion we'd have to have with
But then
them.
it's you going to the police. It's not the public having to go to the police. That's where I'm coming from.
Right, yeah, I mean, we would have to have a discussion with the
Yeah.
police then.
Yeah, that should be an internal discussion for this information we have, yeah.
Like, because there's also the next step is on the application is you can pick up barriers from the from the Public Works Department. So there's also that missing step, right? So there's a few pieces along the line here. So it would be nice if we could make it flow a little bit nicer.
But that you would just have on your application or on the acknowledgement, you need a permit number. No different than a signed permit, right? So you fill out your application for your block party, doesn't give you approval to do it, but then you get notification back, yes, here's your number, here's what you need, this is where it is.
Yeah.
And it should be simple.
And if we make that toolkit, that would have that information
Exactly.
for them.
Yeah.
We could always have-
The barricade information is on the current application.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
I think the idea that we're trying to come from this, Jody, to throw it back at you and your staff is maybe it belongs here and let's find out why it's at the police in the first place. Is it because they wanted it or are there other reasons that maybe we're not seeing right now? But we have about 2.5 weeks or so to figure this out until we believe the number will change. And I agree strongly with Wendy's thought of if festivals and everything else is canceled, let's promote the tar out of this and let's make sure that every opportunity is given for every street to have a street party this year in some way, shape or form that helps us build community by doing that. And that probably comes from not going to the police
Yeah,
office
exactly.
to apply for a permit
Yeah.
because the police office, by and large, to most people is a scary place.
Mm-hmm.
But what that looks like, I don't know.
Selkirk was the one that has that trailer, right? You can, if you get an application for your block party, you get the trailer filled with all of the party stuff or whatever. I don't know if we
I
want to
have
go.
a great idea. I know a guy who's got a nice little RV that he could use, that he could provide to the community
Which block party does not want the mayor showing up? Come on.
with his
Actually-
RV and treats for everyone.
Actually, I did find a program and I called this lady and she's from Alberta and it's called Being Neighborly
Mhm.
and it's called the Neighborhood Connector Program. And people in their neighborhoods that want to connect their neighborhood actually sign up for this program. And she walks them through a few things, but she helps them and they're involved with Tim Hortons and Tim Hortons comes with her and puts up a coffee tent and the whole neighborhood comes and has coffee and donuts and it connects their neighborhoods. And then after that, they often have a block party.
That's so good.
And so she talked me through it. She's talked for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool program and so.
That's awesome. And don't forget to connect with Co-op because they gave cakes
Yes.
last year, right?
Yes, they did.
Or they, for several years, they just
Yeah.
didn't know it.
And we had to cancel our big Canada cake, so,
There's some budget there.
yeah. So cake money.
That sounds good. Great
Awesome.
work.
Great
I have a
Absolutely.
question about, you said that the biggest internal number of links or connections were waste and recycling,
Mhm.
and you were not surprised. I am surprised. I would like to know why you're not surprised and
Really?
what we can do about it.
I'm not surprised only because people always forget what their garbage day is, and if they lost their map, they'll go online to look for it.
Absolutely.
And they will forget what they can compost. I still don't even know what I can all compost, so I'll go online and look, or they'll want to know about branch pickup, blah blah blah, all these things, and that's where they'll look.
And I think it's a good thing that they're doing, it's accessible and gets them on the website and has good information.
I'm there
No,
10 to 12 times a year.
Yep, me too.
Oh, is it Tuesday? No. it's
I go
Thursday.
according to my neighbors,
Yeah,
and they're not
that's
always
what I
right.
mean.
So I'm wrong too.
We had that on our street, not thinking that Penner's wasn't picking up Easter Monday. So there was probably 6 or 8 of us in our cluster there, all put out our garbage Wednesday. And like, oh, no, not coming today. Thursday, they picked it all up. So they're all, the whole south end of 13th was
So
picked
now
up.
that you heard Henry's conversation or his devotional,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and now you know that you have to set your own path.
Yeah.
Just follow
I need to
everybody
go online
else's.
instead of relying on my neighbor to remind me.
Exactly.
And it's very close, actually, to half and half of people that use mobile and desktop for our website. Which,
Really?
So it's just, yeah, that was my concern. It's not questions that we're not advertising or it's just that.
reminding themselves because
Yeah,
they
that's
lost
good.
their map, yeah.
And I think when this is properly linked to the Guest Winkler app, it is going to be so much nicer. Just when all the information is available on both.
Well, I don't know that all of the information that's on the website will ever be on the app.
Or the events things.
Oh, the events, yes.
That is already connected.
Yes, events and recycling and then emergencies, yeah.
Because we've had situations where we haven't updated one or the other or linked properly. So
Yeah.
Early on, when PDO was online and had these waste calendars, weren't we, didn't they send us notes if we signed up for waste day?
Mhm.
So we could have it in our calendar? It seems to me I remember that.
Yep.
Something like that, but it's okay. We want people to come to our website.
Location other than Winklerites that are checking our website. Where's the second location of traffic?
I didn't see that, I'll check. I don't know if our website has, oh, look. On the page that I have right here, like, available to me, I don't have that information,
Okay.
but they might give me more if I ask.
It would just be interesting for Explore Morden Winkler as well to know for Morden Winkler, where's your traffic coming from, right?
Yeah.
Great.
And we know where to put our next ads in which community.
Yeah.
All right, so then we come to the end of our meeting. Therefore be it resolved, this regular meeting of council be adjourned. Mover,
Karina,
seconder.
Michael?
Still no questions from anybody?
Should be lots of questions now.
Well, it won't matter for our adjournment anyway, so all in favor? That's carried. Meeting's adjourned. And we have
Finance?
There was one question. Steven Suka asked if there was any updates on the Highway 32 construction projected June start, question mark.
That we're still anticipating
Okay.
a June start. We'll know more by the end of the week. Yeah, I think Golden West is